Villager isn't really a polarizing character that benefits a ton from one stage and is terrible on another. He doesn't have early kills on platforms that can make one stage clearly better than another stage, so it can be tough to tell what stages are good or bad. This video will outline what Villager's strengths and weaknesses are on each stage, so that you can make more informed decisions on where you counterpick. A lot of it does come down to player preference and the matchup, so keep in mind that there isn't a definitive best and worst stage for Villager. Just kidding, Villager's best stage is easily Yoshi's story. You can bowling ball off the platforms, hit grounded opponents with slingshot from the corner due to the slants, use the wall to get off ledge and edgeguard better, and abuse the low ceiling. Seriously though, this is a really good stage for Villager in a lot of matchups. The only potential downside is that some characters can overwhelm you due to the small size, or camp the platforms, but both of these things can also be to your benefit in other matchups. Lilat can also be pretty good for Villager for a lot of the same reasons, but I won't go too in depth because the stage is usually not legal anymore. Moving on to stages people actually play on, Pokemon Stadium 2 has a lot of benefits for Villager. It's the biggest legal stage by quite a bit, and all that space can really help you set up and find your footing. It's tied for the lowest ceiling out of the legal stages, and Villager has more vertical kill moves than most characters, since up smash, up air, and even tree grow are all pretty common ways to steal stocks. The platforms are also really useful to improve your damage output and to camp under. I'd only recommend not going here if you want to recover under the stage, are scared of getting platform camped, or if you're fighting a character that kills you from platform combos like DK or Mii Brawler. The small battlefield is one of my favorite stages as Villager. It has a lot of the same upsides as PS2 minus the space, but with even more good parts. Being able to recover under the stage is always a useful option to have, but the real benefit is the lower platforms. This makes the stage less polarizing versus the aforementioned kill you characters, and allows you to pressure the platforms much better with Slingshot. Short hop Slingshot hits the characters on this platform height, whereas on PS2, you have to delay your Slingshot to get enough height to hit up there, making it a bit harder. Battlefield is predictably similar to Small Battlefield in a lot of ways, with the only notable differences being the top platform and the way higher ceiling. The extra survivability can come in handy against characters that kill off the top more than you, or characters that you're usually killing off the side through ledge traps or edge guards. Of course, this guy right here is every platform camper's dream, and a lot of characters can extend huge combos off it, whereas Villager doesn't get much from it other than an extra place to land. Now let's talk about Kalos. Kalos has the same high ceiling as Battlefield, with even bigger side blast zones. As before, the survivability is good against characters you want to edgeguard a lot, and so are the walls, which can limit many characters' recoveries and make them easier to hit with bowling ball. The walls, and this platform, are also really useful if you find yourself struggling on ledge a lot. I'd only recommend not going this stage against characters that are tough to kill, tough to ledge trap, or if you're uncomfortable with the flatness of the center stage. Final Destination is known for being a generally good stage for zoners, but I find it kind of a mixed bag for Villager. The lower ceiling is nice, but not having platforms really nerfs your damage output and makes getting out of disadvantage pretty tough. It does make neutral a lot simpler though, since your opponent can't use platforms to mix up their approach angles. Definitely ban this if you find yourself struggling to land, but it can be a pretty comfortable stage in some matchups. Town and City has a decently higher ceiling than FD, with way smaller side blast zones, and also turns into FD sometimes. This stage is generally my least picked, since nothing about the platform layout or blast zones do Villager specifically any favors. But it's not bad necessarily, just another option if you want a big open stage. Smashville is pretty polarizing for Villager. In some matchups, especially versus rushdown characters, I ban it instantly, but in other matchups where the opponent has a hard time getting Villager off of them, the small size can be to your benefit. There's a lot of little upsides to it, like being able to dash attack a ledge roll to set up for a tech chase, and being able to stall under the stage easily. It's definitely matchup dependent, but being comfortable on it can make a huge difference. Lastly, we have Hollow Bastion. This is another one of my favorite stages for Villager. It's kind of a mix of Small Battlefield and Smashville. You get the layout benefits of Smashville, but since it's bigger, it's even harder for opponents to get in on you from above with the huge center platform, which also has the nice lower height of Small Battlefield's platforms. Okay, that's all of them. That was a long one, but thanks for watching until the end. Hope it helped, bye!